Good morning. Today is January 3rd, 2025, and 7:49 a.m. So with yesterday's show being long as shit, if you didn't listen to it, it's all good. I don't blame you. Super long ones that are very boring, they don't really go in depth on a bunch of stuff, I wouldn't listen to them either, so I get it. But I did go over a couple key things at the end. So if you did skip it or if you didn't listen to it, then maybe go back and listen to it. I said a lot of stuff that I think is very important. I think I even gave it the diamond, meaning that it's a more valuable show. And I'm actually going to stand up, so hold on me. I don't know if you can hear my desk just going upwards. But anyway, so today, with what I'm going off of what I said last night. And to go off of what I said last night, I feel really good today. And what I did was I woke up and I came into my office and I just kind of did some stretches, did some mobility work, nothing crazy whatsoever. And it wasn't even, maybe it was 5 minutes, I don't know. But that just felt really good and it didn't require much effort, much anything. Because my goal with this was not to do actual mobility work or to get a deep stretch. My goal was to just move my body and kind of wake up. And so that didn't require much mental effort. I just did a whole bunch of stretches on the ground. I just moved my legs around, moved my arms around, and that's pretty much what I did. And that felt good. And I was able to kind of keep my eyes closed and just kind of wake up because I turned on my lamp, the ghost touch lamp that keeps on turning on and off. I don't know why the fuck it does that, but side note, I turned it on yesterday. And as I turned it on, all my power in my house went out for maybe 2 minutes. Not even, maybe 1 minute. It was just so weird, just weird timing. But anyway, so turned that on, created a little bit of a moody morning vibe. And I just got to stretching and moving my body. And it felt good, kind of woke me up. And then I had my book that I need to finish tomorrow if I want to complete the first challenge of the year. I'm not going to fail that shit. So I've got Diary of a CEO, 350-page book. And here's the thing, man. I started it 10 days ago. So I should be a lot further along than I am now. But I just didn't prioritize it. And as a result, I'm halfway done with the book right now. So I have to read 180 pages between today and tomorrow night to complete the first challenge of the year. So, and that's with the Allegiant Excellence podcast. If you want to go listen to the new challenge that I guess I'm going to have to record and upload today or tomorrow, because today is Friday. I don't know. But if you want to keep up with that shit, then go ahead and follow that. If you don't, give a damn, then don't. I don't care. But I want to keep true to that. There's a couple people that I know that are doing it with me, and I don't want to let them down. I don't want to be the guy that creates the shit and can't follow through. So anyway, woke up, started reading, and I read, 20 pages or so, which for me in one sitting, that's unbelievable. And honestly, the more that I have the number in mind of I have to read 200 pages by tomorrow, the more that 20 pages seems like nothing. So it's just ironic the frame that we put things in and how they become bigger or smaller given what we compare them to. Because all of 75 Hard and all of Live Hard, it was read 10 pages a day. And some days I was like, holy fuck, that's so much. But now, faced with a 200-page dilemma here, 20 pages ain't shit because that's 10%. 10 pages would be 5%. And to think that 5% is just some monumental amount to read, it just changes the perspective of things. So, and I've already mentioned that multiple times with the challenge, because if you do 1,000 push-ups in a week, that's 142 per day. You could do 40 in the morning, 40 at lunch, 40 before bed, and you're pretty much there. Just could do a couple extra. But if you skimp out and you miss a couple sessions or whatever, then by the end of the week, you're doing 300 in one day. So it's just a lot more at once, for sure. And when you do that, when you do skimp out and you do force yourself to have to do so much in one sitting, it just shows you what you're capable of. So if I would have said, yeah, I'm going to do 2,000 push-ups this week, I'd be like, God damn, bro, that's quite a bit. Maybe I should drop that to 1,000. But I just proved to myself on that last day of the push-ups that I could do 300 every day, which is 2,100 for a week. So same with this book thing. I got to read 200 pages between today and tomorrow. Fuck. And it's a little different because my goal is not to read volume. My goal is to learn. But the challenge was to read at least a 200-page book by the end of tomorrow night. And yes, I've pretty much already read 200 pages, but it's not a 200-page book. It's a 350-page book. So I need to finish the book. I feel like that just goes without saying. If I'm going to say I'm going to read a book, then I should probably read a book. But anyway, that's that. Woke up, started doing that. I feel really good. And then I came and finished editing my reels because I had to stop that yesterday because that's when I looked at my phone, realized that I had a text. I missed the shadow coaching phone call and fuck, right? So that's when that stopped. And then I had the phone call, learned more about that. Then what did I do? Recorded the show, did the sales call role play. Then I went with Lexi for a brief moment. And then I came back home and went to bed. And so picking up where I left off, I just finished editing all the reels. And it's pretty cool because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7 reels that I filmed yesterday. And I've actually got a couple variations of them. So I've got closer to 10, which is pretty cool, meaning that I have 10 reels and I'm good to go. What's really cool about this, though, is it didn't take me that long. Now, I didn't use my camera. I didn't do anything like that. I just used my phone, and then I just airdropped the files to my MacBook, and then I put them into this new software that I've been using. I just discovered it yesterday. It's called VEED IO, and just for documentation purposes, I know a lot of people don't know what any of this shit is. I used Submagic, and I was considering going to Captions app. And I was like, I'll just I'm not going to do any of this shit. I subscribe to Adobe Premiere, or I subscribe to the whole Adobe suite. So I'll just use that. I'm already paying for it. And that's $30 a month for me right now, which is crazy because it's so cheap per month. However, it's just, why is it a subscription? Let me just buy the software outright, but whatever. That's how they make their money. I get it. And it's an exceptional product. So whatever. But mentally, it's just like, do I want to spend more money on this shit, dude? And the answer is no, I don't. But this makes it faster. So removing ego, that I can use a software like Premiere Pro. I need speed. I need convenience. I need ease. So that's what I did. So we're using Veed.io, and they've got quite a lot of features here, and a lot of different templates and presets and just options to make my videos how I want them to be. And it's very easy to use. I think it's actually even easier now that I have the monitors set up, because I have a much bigger screen to see everything. And that's something that I haven't done since getting the monitors, which is editing videos. So very cool. It's very helpful to have a bigger screen. So I can't remember how much I've talked about it, but I did upgrade my workspace a little bit. So I got a big docking station for my MacBook. It's a 30-minute timer. Also, I've been running 30-minute timers all morning this morning, so that's cool. But anyway, I got a big docking station for my MacBook, so that plugs directly into my laptop, and then everything else goes into the docking station except the charger for my laptop. And so that houses the dual monitor setup, so the HDMI cables, and then that also houses the microphone and the ring light and all that shit that I have here. Then it also acts as a charger station for my microphone and for my phone and all sorts of shit. So pretty cool. And it was roughly $500, and it was I think I've talked about this before, but I always make sure that before I make a purchase, I for sure want it, and I wait however long I feel like is necessary before I buy it. For example, wanted to skateboard really bad because I wanted to get back into it and just practice in my garage and shit. And I identified that as a distraction, such as learning Italian and, trying to write books and all this stuff. Yes, I want to do it, but it's just something that is taking me away from the thing that is going to allow me to do whatever I want later in life. So it's kind of how I saw it. But with the monitors and this whole setup, yes, it's quite expensive for me, but this would increase the quality of my work, my focus, my my ability to, it would just increase everything. And I was like, oh, it's pretty expensive. I'll just make sure that I want this. And this was around Black Friday, a little bit before. And I was like, do I want it just because they're cheap? Cheap, right? Do I want it just because they're discounted right now or whatever? So Black Friday came and went, and then the prices went up quite a bit. And I was like, dude, I still kind of want them. And then I just let a whole month go by. And then, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. And so I did. So I bought the shit, but that's way off topic. Let's get back on topic here. So I've been using the software. It's VEED. Now, so far so good. I made 2 accounts, one so I could refer myself and get a discount, so that for the next 3 months, it's only $12. And that's really cool because for Submagic, I was paying $50 a month. So that's quite a savings for more features, which right now I do care about how much shit costs per month. That's why I love Neato so much. Not saying that I wouldn't use them if they weren't free. And especially I'm going to use them forever because I just love the mission and their philosophy and everything like that. But I don't want to drown myself any more than I am right now, because like I was talking about, I'm negative 1,000 per month, meaning, for example, I make $4,000 a month. I spend $5,000 a month. And again, that's all on credit cards. Now, I'm really excited to say that out loud because in the future, that's going to be part of, the cool success story that I tell. I was negative 1,000 a month for 3 or 4 or 5 months. Put it all on, I guess it doesn't sound that cool, huh? I don't know. Put it all on credit cards because I just believed in myself that I would make this happen, and so on and so forth. Now, I think that's one of those things now where if you tell people that now, they think you're crazy. They're like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? I would never. But then when I make it, it's like, oh yeah, I knew you could, and I guess we'll get there. I'll see when we get there. But yeah, so honestly, it's kind of partly why I don't tell people shit. I try not to. That's kind of why I want this podcast to be kind of a secret again. Not like a whole secret, don't tell anybody. But if somebody asks, then I'm not going to like, no, I don't have one. I'm just going to be, oh yeah, you can listen here, blah, blah, blah. But, I think the very nature of me telling somebody about this right now goes against the whole purpose of the show, which is to just document. Because I don't need a listener. And I want to make sure that everybody understands who's listening. I appreciate the support. I'm grateful for all the listens. I'm grateful for all the shares, I was 20 people's top podcast. So I'm not taking that for granted. I think that's cool. That's not my goal. My goal is to document, and I don't need people to listen. I don't even need to upload the shit. I would still do this in voice memos and not do anything and not upload it. Like that's going to continue on no matter what. So just uploading it allows people to find and discover my shit along the way. Now, I do believe that once I reach the more I think about it, the more I feel like this podcast is going to be secret in phases. So, for example, right now I'm about fitness and nutrition coaching and the sales that come with that. When I get out of this space, I will probably do something with fitness nutrition coaching, but for helping other coaches get their shit off the ground. Now, first I need to get to a level to where that I can, walk the walk and talk the talk, or talk the talk and walk the walk, whatever the fuck the saying is. Meaning, once I get this business to, we'll just say $50,000 a month, I'm just pulling numbers out of my ass. Then I can be someone who helps other people get their shit off the ground. But because I'm an operations guy, we discovered that a couple of us. Oh, that's what I got to talk about. There's a really cool thing that happened. Then I think that I could make something incredible and help for example, my mentor, Brian, help him and his team create better shit for the group. And that's the kind of shit that I'm into. So I just first need to get to a certain amount or some kind of number that I can maintain, improve, that I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. So maybe that's what I do for the next 2, 3, 4 years. I don't know. I'm not really worried about the time frame. I just want to make sure that the actions that I take every single day are in alignment with getting to where I want to go. So the thought of something taking 5 years, I don't really think about it like, oh fuck, that's so long. I think about, okay, well, I just need to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can do and should be doing today, because If I do that, then yeah, 5 years are going to come before I know it. But if I don't, then it might be 6 years, then it might be 7, might be 8, might be a full decade. And that is what bothers me. That's when I'm like, okay, what was once 5 years is now 11. What the fuck is going on? Because, for example, in the group that I'm in now, there is this chick, and she joined the program the same time I did 4 years ago, because I went back and I searched my name in the group, and my old posts themselves are not there, but the comments and when people would tag me and all this shit, those are there as well. And one of them was her. She was like, I'm holding Bryson accountable for sales calls and role playing and blah, blah, blah. And that's when I was like, yeah, I'm not doing phone calls. Nope, I'm good. I was just so scared. And she was in the group the same time I was 4 years ago. Now yesterday I saw a post, or I don't know who gives a fuck when, saw a post, and someone was like, hey, what's your biggest takeaway, your biggest lesson? If you've made 100K in a year, what's the biggest thing you've learned? And this chick I'm talking about, she commented and she said, the biggest thing that took me from 3,000 a month to, what was it? From 3,000 a month to 20,000 a month to 300,000 a year was, and then she went on to say what it was. And I'm like, we joined at the same time 4 years ago. To think that's what kind of makes me, kind of perturbs me a little bit, because she started when I started. She's now at 300K a year, roughly, right? What I'm talking about now is like, I'll do this for the next 4 or 5 years. That was then. I mean, I joined this in 2020. I'd be there now if I didn't give up then. That's what really bothers me. Now, of course, the whole what if I would have done this, maybe I wouldn't have gone over here. Maybe I wouldn't have moved. And if you really want to get all dramatic, maybe I wouldn't have ever moved back. Maybe I wouldn't have ever met Lexi. Maybe I wouldn't have all these different things. And I don't want to even think about some of those things because of how great they are now. But I'm not going to lie and say like I don't think about things like that. And I also don't regret anything. Dude, real quick, I don't know if I regret shit, because every choice that we make, it shapes us into the person that we are now. And every time people talk about this, I think it's kind of corny, but it's true. I mean, who I am today is a result of all the actions and the decisions and all the choices that I made throughout my entire life. Now, there have been times where I haven't been happy with my life, but that's my fault. And so I'm in control. But that's not the point. I like life where I'm at right now. And I'll never be content. I think I've accepted that I'm always going to want more and more and more. But, I feel like I have been doing better at being grateful and kind of keep my eyes open to the things that really matter, kind of. Well, hold on. I mean, honestly, maybe it is selfish, but I've been paying more attention to the things that matter to me. And it's kind of a backwards thing. So what I'm about to say has not happened and nobody has talked about it, but I'm just going to paint an example because I think it's a perfect analogy. But for example, it's important for me to achieve my goals and to work and to better myself as an individual. It's not important to me to spend time with family, but it's important to me that my mom knows how much I love her and that she is loved by her son. So how I do that is to spend time with her, send texts, give her phone calls, all things like that. So my priorities, my focus, my goals are not to spend time with or associate or to whatever with family. And I know people are going to be like, oh, what the fuck? But my goal definitely is to have people, family, friends, whatever, know that I like them, I appreciate them, I love them, whatever it may be. So it's kind of a backwards thing. So selfishly, my goal is to just ensure that I'm the best version of myself that I can be. And all these failures and regrets and all these times that I bailed out on myself and I quit and all these things, those are choices that I made that made me who I am now. And now I have the experience and the wisdom to talk about that. Meaning, yeah, so 5 years ago, I quit on myself. And it took me 5 years, damn near, to muster up the courage to hop on a phone and make my first sale. It took me 4 years to make my first sale. So it's not my first sale. I made some online. It was never a phone call. It took me 4 years to make my first over the phone sale. 4 years. And now it's going to take me maybe a month to make my second one. So just the drastic cut in time, just like that. You know, Alex Hormozy's got a thing where he talks about takes you 20 years to make your first piece of content, takes you 2 hours to make your second piece, or something like that. Maybe it's Gary Vee. I actually can't remember. But anyway, that's that. So, yeah, that's when it kind of bothers me when I look back and I think of what could be or where I'd be now if I didn't give up then. But I like where things are at. It just adds to the story, adds to the experience and the wisdom later in life, you know, because when somebody's thinking about, for example, some people in the group, I can see who they phased out. There's one guy, let's see, this guy right here. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick. Probably not because I'm on the spot. Price and Everyday Podcast. Scroll up. Where is it? Hold on. My first ever sales call, role play, live call. Yo. Oh, not even on the mic. Hold on. Maybe I'm just a hard gainer. Maybe my metabolism's too fast. I don't know.
I can. So let's play devil's advocate here and pretend that.
So that guy, good guy, but he bailed out of the program, and he gave factual reasoning, which I think is cool, and I don't give a fuck either way. But like I've been there, so the fact that he bailed out of the program, my first thought was, dude, that was me. And I don't think he's receptive to any kind of, oh, join back again, bro. Let me tell you this and blah blah blah. But I'll see people, and he's not the only guy either. There's a couple other people I was talking to, and they're like, oh man, it's just so hard. It takes the fun out of it, the passion. I just not even want to do it anymore. And I'm like, dude, I think I'm speaking from my personal experience, but when other people say that, I recognize the pattern of when people say that, it's usually because they're just very frustrated with the lack of being seen or heard or acknowledged, and feel like certain things are just so stupid and it's not helping them and it's not whatever. Because in my life, and I'm going to speak on this for myself. So every time I showcase the sneeze cast, which is 73, where my uncle sneezes loud as fuck in the background, and you can hear it, 73. It's like a 19-minute mark or something like that. I don't know. But at that, right before he sneezed, what I'm talking about is how I felt my job was not intellectually stimulating. I felt like it was the current job that I have now last year. I felt like I just wasn't getting better. I'm not learning anything. And every time that I have those feelings or beliefs or concerns, it's always because I feel like I'm too smart or I get frustrated or whatever. And it's not because of anything else. Nothing happens. I just get frustrated with the lack of progress that I'm making or whatever. Now, again, I'm speaking on myself. But this happened with FedEx. I told my manager in Arizona, I was like, I just got really smart. I'm like, hey man, this job isn't conducive to my goals. I'm trying to build muscle, and all I'm doing is running all day. It's tough. I'm not gaining any kind of experience. All I'm doing is scanning a box and putting on a porch. How is that making me better? Blah, 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 blah. And that's happened multiple times in my life. And now recognizing patterns of my behavior, I know, well, at least I can only assume that when other people do it too, that there's some kind of similarity between what they're doing and what I have done as far as the belief system and the whatever. So when people are like, oh, it's too hard, I don't like this, I bailed out, I quit, whatever. I'm like, dude, I've been there. I promise you just have to keep going. And so honestly, I don't even know what to tell people like that, because I don't have the proof to suggest that not giving up was the way to go about it. So I'm working on that. And honestly, it's the whole communication delivery. I'm not really as skilled in that as I would like to be. So we're working on it. I'd like to think that this podcast has helped quite a bit in me learning how to talk better or get my point across. But at the same time, I also feel like I can't keep my train of thought for shit. I'm all over the place. I mean, you guys heard it on 440 with Lexi. We were talking back and forth, and she was like, focus, get back on track, or whatever she said. And I was like, yeah, if you didn't have said that, I would have totally forgot we were talking about that, you know? So the amount of times that I have to pause this recording and then rewind to figure out what I just said and then continue on, I've probably done it at least 80 times, at least. But anyway, so yeah, I'm feeling good today. Everything's great. I'm looking forward to hitting the gym and getting some shit going. I think what I might do is actually just go now and just get the gym out of the way. I like the idea of going later because I know no one's going to be there, but whatever. I think we'll give it a shot because today is a down Friday, meaning I don't work. So I'd like to think that a lot of other people don't either. And I like to think that these motherfuckers are sleeping in and not going to the gym. So yeah, January 3rd, Friday, 8:14 a.m. I don't think anybody's going to be going. Maybe I'm way wrong. I mean, it is the new year, but where the gym I'd be going would be on base where I work. So I don't know how many people are in a city where I'm at, but there's only 24,000 people that have access to the facility that I go to. And I know not even 10% of those people actively go to the gym. Not even 5%. Dare I say 1%. I don't think 1% of those people go because it'd be 240. Is that 240? Yeah, it'd be 240, right? Because 10% would be 24. Yeah. Okay, 240. Maybe 2%. I don't know. But how many people are going to be going on a Friday morning when nobody works? I don't know. But anyway, so I think I might just do that and just get my day started I've been up for 3 hours, but I don't know. What else do I want to? Oh, what was I going to say? Oh, that was the thing I was going to talk about. Yeah. So the coolest part, and call it what you want, but I feel like I fucking manifested this shit, was a few days ago. I found out that I'm an operations guy. I really just had that realization of, holy shit, yeah, that's me. So episode 434, I'm an operations guy. Because I realized the things that I like doing, that's what they all pertain to. Making things better, making things more efficient, making things communicate better, making it nice and easy to follow and blah, blah, blah. And guess what text I got yesterday? So I accept the shadow coaching position, and Mina sends me a text. He says, guys, in a group chat with, I think, 5 other people, I'm not sure. He says, guys, huge announcement. Please welcome Bryson to the team. Bryson has accepted the shadow coach role and will be responsible for systems, operations, and eventually some check-ins. This is going to be awesome. Please introduce yourselves, blah, blah, blah. He's accepted the shadow coach role and will be responsible for systems and operations. How fucking cool is that? That's really cool. And this was a week ago. I make the realization, holy fuck, I'm an operations guy. That's where I thrive. A week later, I get a position in operations. And, reading that text yesterday, I was like, wow, dude, like shit really just works out if you just don't quit, huh? That's really cool. And there's been plenty of times where I could have quit and I could have bailed on everything. I could have just withdrew myself and blah, blah, blah. But I didn't. And that's led me here. I mean, we're 441 or 442 episodes deep, which is, that's so many episodes, dude. But, that's a great example. I started the show 442 days ago. That was a bad snap. That's how fast it went by. So to think of where I'll be when I hit episode 884, fuck, it's just double the amount of time now. But where am I going to be, So anyway, very excited. So on Monday, I'll start that. I don't know what's expected as far as what I need to get done on Monday. But the first phone call we were talking about onboarding and operations and all these different types of things. And he said he wanted to pick my brain about that, like on the you guys heard it on the phone call yesterday or 2 days ago. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. And he says, yeah, I really want to pick your brain. And it's so, I was telling Lexi about this. I'm like, you know how great of a feeling it is when your whole life you've done things this way and you've had, dude, it kind of gets me kind of emotional, bro. You know how fucking incredible that feeling is to have somebody recognize your, I guess, intelligence of a particular thing, that they'd want to pick your brain and learn from you, especially when it's something that you love so much and you are so passionate about. Like, just the feeling, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, wow, every job I've ever had, this has never happened whatsoever. Now that I get around like-minded individuals, it happens. What proof that getting around people on the same mission as you is really such a cheat code for life. Now, I'm not saying that nobody's ever acknowledged that maybe I'm doing well. I'm not saying any of that whatsoever. But for someone to be like, wow, dude, you're smart as shit. Let me go ahead and pick your brain because what you're doing here is efficient as fuck and it's excellent and great job. I can't believe you thought about it this way. This is great. It's never happened before. Maybe once or twice. I'm not going to say never. I don't know. But, I mean, for example, where I work now, I think I've gone through little dips and phases where my focus is just to try to make things better for other people. And almost like I want some kind of acknowledgement or not recognition, some kind of attention that, yeah, I am smart. And that phase, that got phased out. And then I continued doing the trying to make things better and make guides and try to help other people do shit. I continued trying to do that stuff, but it wasn't for attention or any kind of recognition. It was just because I wanted to help. And then I feel like I went through another phase again where I wanted more, I guess attention for doing things that were kind of out of pocket or unusual or I guess unorthodox. And then I feel like that phased out maybe 4 or 5 months ago. And ever since then, I've just been so not giving a fuck about anything other than exploring curiosity and bettering myself through experimentation. And what I mean is just trying different things for the sake of trying it and truthfully not giving a fuck what someone else might have to say or do or react to or tell their coworker or tell their whatever. And a specific example is like the books that we have, they'll say, hey, make sure you tape off using this and blah, blah, blah. And everybody uses the same tape every single time. And this is the shit that just does not matter. But for some reason, other people, it's the end of the world. So to get into specifics, where I work, the books that we have, if they call out a specific tool or type of something or cure time of however long, you must follow that. You can't deviate away from that shit. But for the things that don't specify it, I mean, fucking open mic, dude, do what you want. And even I'm not going to say anything that's going to get me in trouble, but with these things, some people use the same kind of tape for every single thing that they do. And I'm like, well, why don't we use this tape over here? And then sometimes people will say, why the fuck are you using that tape? That shit sucks ass. And I'm like, have you ever used it? You know? And usually the response is, no, it's ass. And I'm like, okay, it's an interesting point, but whatever. So I'll just use different tape. And turns out that by me exploring curiosity through experimenting with different methods or whatever, I find out that there are better ways to do certain things. And then that belief and proof of concept of exploring the curiosity, that proves to me that there are other ways to do other things that might be better or worse. And there's been a lot of things that I try and I'm like, oof, that sucks ass. I got to clean this up. Other things, I'm like, wow, why have I been doing it the other way the whole time? And going back to what I was saying, like now I just do it because I love doing it. I just think it's so fun. And it just, because I talk about this all the time. So if I have any coworkers listening to this, you're going to laugh. But so I have this push cart. I've talked about it so much on the show, and it's just quite a big fucking deal for everybody else. But I'll just add modifications to it. I'll drill holes in it, and I'll put metal beams on it so it can hold more stuff. And I'll tape boxes to the sides so it can hold more utensils and gloves and all this shit. And I've probably added like 50 pounds worth of shit on it. I'm not even lying. Like 50 pounds worth of shit onto this cart. And for some reason, people are like, what the hell? Why is he doing that? How come he's... And it's funny because I'll hear through other people that they're asking about what I'm doing and to other people, never to me, which is just weird as fuck to me, bro. People will ask other people why I have certain things on my desk. I don't feel like I'm intimidating. I don't feel like I'm like, I get along with everybody. Why the fuck wouldn't you? Hey, dude, I noticed you have that thing on your desk. What the fuck is that? I don't know. But anyway, I have this cart and it's got so many modifications on it. And this is just a great example. I get such a kick out of thinking about how I can improve it, quote unquote, improve, whatever the fuck that means. I get such a kick out of trying to improve it or think of better or different ways to hold more stuff or to make it look better or to whatever, that like it just become like something I look forward to. But it's not normal. Nobody does that. It's very, very uncommon that people would want to do that. No, and for fuck's sake, nobody's coming around saying, dude, that's so cool. That's so smart. I can't believe you think that's fucking awesome. It's always like, oh, you fucking dork. Oh, dude, what are you doing now? And, when that first started happening, it really got me upset because I don't like being called dork. I think it's just, what even is the definition of a dork? Isn't it like a whale penis or something? Okay. Vulgar slang, North American, a man's penis. Yeah. So informal, a contemptible, socially inept person. Socially inept. They're all dressed like complete dorks. Socially inept. Inept means having or showing no skill. Clumsy. I don't like that. Don't tell me I don't have skill. Don't tell me I'm clumsy. Don't tell me I'm inept. Now, some people hearing this are going to now start calling me a dork even more often. And to that I say, please don't, fuck off. Anyway, so people do that shit. And it's like, dude, I know I'm not a dork. I like to explore different possibilities because I'd rather do that than sit on my phone and scroll social media personally. Now, I'm not demeaning anybody who does that because everybody that I work with does do that. And I've tried really hard to deviate myself away from doing any kind of wasting my time with social media or being on my phone. Now, I brought a clicker to work, one of these guys, and I track how many people that I message per day. And that's one of those things that other people were like, what the fuck is that on his desk? Not even talking to me, talking to somebody else. And I just think that shit's just corny, bro. Like, what talk to me? It's not a secret. It's just on my, if you want to know what it's a clicker. I'm just trying to count how many people I'm talking to. But anyway, going back to the whole cart thing, which is what I was trying to get at. People aren't walking around saying, oh, dude, this is so cool. You're so smart. I can't wait to pick your brand and how I can do that. Nobody's doing that. And rightfully so. Nobody gives a fuck. I get that. And that's not the point. The point is I haven't had the recognition or the feeling of somebody seeing value in what I have. Because this sounds so dick, but a lot of people don't have ambition. A lot of people don't want big things in life. A lot of people, their excitement in life comes from Fridays at 2:00 when they get off work and they can go home, waste their weekend away, drink a shit ton of alcohol, party it up, do whatever they got to do, and then dread Monday and go through the cycle again. That's people's excitement. My excitement, dude, is I fucking woke up today and I get another chance to do something with life. That's fucking exciting for me. And when you have these ambitions and when you have these, it's about to go off again, that timer. Ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, beep. And when you have these ambitions and these goals and you want better for yourself, it's so hard to find other people who want the same and who can, real recognize real, right? That whole saying. And there's, I'm going to tell a funny story real quick. I once upon a time went on a date and the girl saw some guy and she was like, oh, he's probably on, I think he sniffed a line of cocaine. And I was like, how could you possibly know that? And she's like, oh, game that recognizes game. And I was like, so this isn't going to work. And anyway, I think it's a funny story. But anyway, so yeah, to have somebody recognize that within me means that they're also have a similar set of ambitions or perspective or whatever. I don't know. I'm really unclear about all of this, but one thing I do know is that it felt fucking amazing to have somebody recognize these things within me as high value. He chose me over 3 or 4 other candidates because he believed that this operations and systems and communication was my greatest strength and what they needed the most. and it's a good feeling as well, because in the modern world here, and it's becoming less and less, and I'm not talking shit, but you just have to have a degree for this. You have to have proof of certification. You have to have this or that. You have to have some kind of license or some kind of degree or some kind of qualification or some kind of something to prove that you can do what you say that you can do, rather than, for example, if I'm a website designer, a lot of places don't require a resume or a degree or any kind of that shit. They just want to see that you can make a website. And if you can, you're hired. I don't know. Maybe that's how it should be across the board. For a lot of things that doesn't apply, and no fucking shit. If you want to be a brain surgeon, just because you can take a seed out of an orange doesn't mean you're a brain surgeon. So I understand that part of it. But for somebody who can improve systems and operations and make things better and smoother, I don't need a degree. I don't need to have some license or certification or whatever that shows that I went through a course that trained me on I don't need that shit. I just feel like that barrier just holds so many people out of getting in the spotlight and shining, because people like myself who are technically, if you want to call it this, a college dropout. I said, fuck college. I'm done. I'm going. No, I'm moving back home. This shit ain't for me. I gave college a try 3 times, went in person twice, went online once. And I said, this shit sucks, dude. Yeah, I'm good. And that is so reassuring now. That is not reassuring. That is such a great feeling to know that for me, this whole time, that was 100% the correct way to go about my life. Because let's pretend that I went to school and I got a bachelor's degree in exercise science, because that was kind of what I was going for, or kinesiology or something like that. I like that stuff. But let's pretend I have that now. Now what? What kind of job would I be getting where I'd be making more than what I make now for doing the amount of work that I do now? Maybe more, maybe less. For the sake of the argument, let's say it's more. Let's say it's $10 more an hour. Now, yeah, that's $1,600 more per month. That's great. Maybe I'd be in a different place. Maybe whatever. But that degree doesn't help the future of me, because once I get this shit going, that extra $1,600 a month is going to be puny. It's not about the money, but that's a byproduct. That's a measuring stick of success business wise. It just wouldn't matter. It would so the way I'm thinking about this is, if I would have done that, and we're talking 4 to 5 years of schooling to help me make more money for the next year or two, and that's it. So 4 years of studying and schoolwork and focus on this and blah, 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 for 2 years of more money. So for 4 years of school to make an extra, we'll call it 50 grand. Is that worth it to me? Hell no, it's not. Because, for example, I've already made $1,000, $850 from 3 months of, you can call it school. And if you want to keep up I don't know how that would compound, but sure as shit, I'm not going to only make $1,000 for the next $4,000 a year for the next 5 years. Sure as shit's going to be more. But even if it were, it would still be half. Now, smart. I mean, I could just go way into this. It's much cheaper. It's not as, I go at my own pace. There's no grading. Fuck grading, bro. Who are you to tell me my score that I got on a thing? It's fucking opinion. But anyway. So what I was trying to get at there is, as far as having a degree for me and where I'm trying to go in my life, it wouldn't be of any benefit other than maybe it might help me get another 2 or 3 clients because they see that I have a few letters before my name. And for me, that's not important. What's important is being able to showcase the skill and have proof of concept that you can do what you're talking about. And that's that. So this specific show was all over the place. So I'm going to call it. I'm done here. I'm going to go get ready and go hit the gym. Hold on. Yep, there's the sunrise. Bam. Sunrise on a crisp, sunny morning, crisp, cold morning. Nice. I love that. That's my favorite thing. Okay, that's it. That is the show. I love you guys. I'll talk to you next time I talk to you. I talk to you next. Peace out.